Namaskar, dear friends. Uh, as we have completed our two parts under History of Indian Constitution, that is a part first 1600 to 1765. Second part we have completed in our last lecture 1765 to 1858. Now we are going towards the third turn, that is the third part of the History of Indian Constitution from 1858 to 1919. So here we are to look after into the points one by one. So I'll open this first. This third part is also called as end of the company rule. So in previous part, what we have seen that beginning of the British rule, and in this part we are going to look after into the end of the company rule. Now, uh, as we have seen in our last lecture that during 1853 certain laws has been made, and after 5 years of that the Government of India Act 1958 has been established by the British government. Now this Government of India Act 1858 was created to transfer the Government of India from the company to the British Crown. This was the first intention behind this production of this, or what you call enactment of this Government of India Act. And from that time, India was governed by and in the name of Her Majesty. So the only provision of this act was that the Government of India is going to be get transferred from the hands of the company to the British Crown. Secondly, after this act, after 3 years, the Indian Council Act 1861 has been established, and this has brought about the beginning of a representative institution. Now, the benefit of this act was given to the Indians. They were for the first time associated with the work of legislation. I repeat that Indians were given for the first time the chance to associate themselves with the work of legislation. So these two things are there. One is representative institution has begun, and second one, the first time chance has been given to the Indian people who were associated with the work of legislation. Now, after this, Indian Council Act 1892 has been created, but it has not done much more things. Only certain modifications which was there has to be get done. Those modifications has been done in this previous act. After that, the Morley Minto Reforms came into. This is also called as the Indian Council Act of 1909. So probably this three things has been seen in this particular uh, Indian Council Act 1909. So this was introduced representatives and the popular element. Secondly, this act has created two posts. Number one, the post of Secretary of the State, that is Lord Morley, and the Viceroy, that is Lord Minto. These two has been appointed as Secretary of the State and a Viceroy. And further, it has enhanced the power of Legislative Council of the central and provincial level. So these reforms which has been done, those reforms were only for the benefit of the British government. So here we are finishing the third part of the history of Indian Constitution.